Rabbi Yaakov Bienenfeld, Young Israel of Harrison, New York, Westchester, Parshas Chukas. But I find to be very strange and curious, it's a mystery in this week's Parsha, that last week and the week before, and opening Parshios and all the portions that we began in the book of Bamidbar and Sefer Bamidbar, they were all in the first and second years of our stay in the wilderness, in the desert. They were the first year as we left Mitzrayim, as we left Egypt after the Exodus, and then we were a little bit of the second year as we left the Exodus, as we left Egypt, the Exodus from Mitzrayim. However, what is very puzzling, what is enigmatic to me and curious and a mystery is in this week's Parsha, in Perek Chaf, Pasuk Aleph, chapter 20, verse 1, in the middle of Parshas Chukas, we skip to year 40. We were in year 1 and 2, and now we're in year 40, and the latter part of the Torah, from now until Zos HaBracha, we're all going to be in year 40. We learn about in Parshas Chukas the death of Miriam, Aaron, and we know that that all happened in year 40. Now the question is, what happened to the other 38 years? And how come there's no mention of the 38 years? The Ibn Ezra comments on Pasuk Aleph in Perek Chaf, B'chodesh harishon b'shnas ha'arboim v'hinei ein b'Torah klal shumasa o nevuah rak b'shana harishona b'shnas ha'arboim. That we have absolutely no incident, no occurrences, no prophecies, only in the first year and in the 40th year. So the question is why? And why is there such a great omission of those 38 years? What happened to the 38 years and what was going on in the 38 years? I would like to suggest, based on a Gemara in Moed Katan, Daf Tesvav 15b in Moed Katan, and also a Gemara in Yevamos 72, Yevamos Ayin Beis, where there the Gemara says, Toshma kol osen shanim shahoyu Yisrael ba'midbar menudin hoyu. That the Gemara says that when Bnei Yisrael were in the Midbar, they were in Menuda. They were Menudim. They were in Chayrim, so to speak. And they were ostracized. They were excommunicated. We all know what Chayrim is. We know what Nizov is. We know what Menuda is. Bnei Yisrael were in a state of Menuda, the Gemara says. And this isn't a euphemism. This isn't allegoric, because the Gemara actually derives halachas from this. Rambam in Talmud Torah, Hilchos Talmud Torah, Perek Zayin, Halacha Dalid, Mahu HaMinag, Sheyinog HaMenuda. How is a Menuda, someone that is ostracized, supposed to conduct himself? Menuda asur l'saper, he can't take any haircuts. L'chabes, can't do washes. Ke'avel, kol yemei niduv. The entire time while he's in nidui, he's like an avel. It's as though he was sitting shiva. And the laws of shiva are pretty much analogous to the laws of Menuda and Chayrim. And if this is true, that Bnei Yisrael, as the Gemara in Yevamos, or the Gemara Moed Katan says, that Bnei Yisrael were Menuda, they were ostracized, they had the halachas of Chayrim, so to speak, so that would explain why nothing was happening and why there's no mention of the 38 years. Because it's as though a person was sitting shiva for 38 years. What was supposed to happen while you were sitting shiva? If you're sitting shiva, obviously it was just a lot of downtime. There was no interaction, no socializing. If there are no shul board meetings, we're not going to have any debates or any disagreements. We're going to be very quiet and nothing's going to happen. And I believe that this is the omission, and this is why we don't read anything or hear anything or learn anything about the 38 years, because Bnei Yisrael were Menuda, they were kind of like in Chayrim, and there was no mention of anything that was happening during those 38 years.